Let's try that again. Hello, hello, with the microphone on. Welcome back to the studio. Tonight we're going to be doing some Oiltober painting. I have fallen off the horse because I've not been feeling so well. I'm feeling a lot better now. But yeah, I'm only up to number 18 of Oiltober and today's the 21st. So we have a couple to catch up on. But as usual, I've got my beautiful dodgy paper ready to go. And we're going to get two loaded up and pull two prompts and paint both at once, like we did back with the, what was it, Pink is Punk, and the other one that I painted the lion. I forget what the prompt was for that one. What was it? I can't read it on the one with Pink is Punk. It was something cool. I'll remember later. Sorry. My memory has definitely gone to heck lately with, if anyone wasn't sure, I am pregnant at the moment, so the pregnancy hormones are making me all forgetful. But that's okay. We're getting by, we're doing the thing. And still enjoying painting, which is good. I will admit, I did intend to clean all my brushes before we started today, and I might have to swirl them around a little bit, but other than that, we're doing pretty good. And I'm still happy, like, I'm not like severely behind. Like if I do a double today and tomorrow, I'm almost back on track, so that's good. You to chill out. Hey Yick, how are you? Dandelion, thank you. Oh, it was like, it's something to do with a flower. Could not remember at all. How are you today? How's your day been? Just getting our paper loaded up. Switch over to our other camera. One's got some gold leaf speckles on. Not sure about that one. That one's better. Hi Jess, how are you? How was your day today? Did you get some sunshine? Or was it all work? Dr. Batman had a half day, so he got to come home and walk the dip, which she was very happy about. While I went to so that was fun. She is very bouncy at the moment because hormones. My poor little Dipper is becoming a woman, going through puberty, as puppies do when they get their first heat. It's very strange. Okay, let's switch to the other camera. Ta-da! Hi Sarah and Darwin! How are you? Welcome to the studio. I'm not sure about the studio assistant because one, the puppy cam is on the fritz. It wasn't working just before stream. So I'll have to look into that. And then two, she keeps being like really high energy for a bit and then knocking herself out full asleep. Like that seems to be pup on heat mode, is she goes 100 miles an hour and then she just wants to sleep. So it, like, she went 100 miles an hour while we were having dinner sort of thing and trying to get our fish and chips, and then now I reckon she's just going to pass out again. So that seems to be the mode. So we'll see if she turns up at the end. She may. Even like going to bed though, she's just been like getting up off the couch and just being like, okay, let's go to bed. Like not bouncy and like, I want to stay up or anything like that. She's been very all over the shop. I'm just going to quickly move my computer screen. Give me one sec. I make great noises getting out of the chair now. All the time. That's better. Now I don't need to look super far away to see you guys. Ooh. Okay, I'm back. See, now I only have to look that way to see you guys. That's much better. Okay. Are we ready to pull some prompts? I have my bucket. Bucket. A walk after work is nice. It's so nice now that it's daylight savings and you have that extra sunshine to like not feel like it's the dead of night the second it hits 4 o'clock. There. Give me one. There's one. Okay. It's one of yours, Jess. First one we have. Focus camera. Focus. Come on. haven't figured out how to make it be happy. There you go. Flag. That's our first prompt. Flag. Do you sound a bit stormy when you get out of the chair? Why stormy? I thought I was just grunty and like old lady. Ugh. Or is it the creak of the chair that sounds stormy? There are lots of bugs on the walk. Bleh. Oh, I'm holding like a 6. Hold on. Not 1. That one. Ooh, and this one's from Charlene Denise. And it is nighttime. Focus. Come on, camera. The thing. We're holding you too close. There it is. Nighttime cityscapes. Oh, you butts. Yes, that is okay. I am slow. I am losing all mental faculties. I am becoming just paint person. I did work today as well, so my brain is pretty well mush, so I'm hoping my hands will do most of the painting today. Okay, we've got flag and nighttime cityscapes. Oof. Okay, I'm going to pull up. I would feel really weird if Hurricane, like, themselves started making noises at me. That would be strange to have actual noise coming out of your belly. Thank you, Yik! Thank you very much. That's very helpful. Let's look for flag first, because flag... I don't know, I immediately think of pride flag or something like that, but I don't know if that's too obvious. Do we want to do a friend for our pan flag? Because we had Mr. Pan flag earlier. Do the whole... Ooh, white flag. That's very true. Surrender flag. I search pirate flag and they give me the Canadian flag. Sure. A lot of my streaming buddies. Microphone, what are you doing? You staying on? Good microphone. Alright. I was saying Sea of Thieves is a video game that a whole bunch of my streaming friends like to play. No, it should still be there. Sound back, sound gone again. I'm getting the little bar. It doesn't say muted. Sound back, okay. Yay! I wonder if they have cool flags. Doing it like every third click. Why? Why microphone? Why? Okay, so Sea of Thieves have like a standard pirate flag. It's just got slightly different bones at the bottom. The Jolly Roger. Do a portrait of a guy named Jolly Roger. So that's an idea. Or, I don't know, the red flag is sort of appealing to me. Red is more fun to paint than white. I don't know why. Ooh, and there's lots of good references for red flag. Maybe red. That is a very big red flag. Oh, I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. Hold on a sec. Go over there. So this is Unsplash, which is one of the free stock websites that I like to use. I like everything to be free stock. And you can see there's some cool red flags. This one's very, very energetic. Might open him up in a tab. Even like this one, he's got lots of nice shadows on him. And like, I don't have to do the little gold tassel-y bit, so I could get rid of that. Yeah. I don't know, I feel okay about red flag. Let's go back and we'll go nighttime. Nighttime. I was just saying I don't do a lot of cityscapes, and then secondarily, on the dodgy paper, it's so textured. Doing straight lines is a bitch. Or at least it's more difficult. Hey, Australia. Haha. Oh, that's very pretty. That looks very organic for city things. It doesn't really scream cityscape though. I wonder if there is any like cloudy. Okay, so it doesn't like loading a new page is when it's turning off the microphone by the looks of it. I do like the cloud swirling around this. That's kind of cool. But again, it's kind of not the vibe. Oh, Jay, you're here! I suddenly saw you there. Oh, what's my thing doing? I can't see chat. Hold on a sec. There we go. I can see chat again. Good. Good, good, good. Sorry. That one's kind of what I'm thinking. I can see chat again. Good. Oh, now I can hear myself. Why can I hear myself? That was strange. Anyway. Still hear me? Yeah, good. Clouds. That's very pretty, but it's not a cityscape. What other kind of cities are there? Like Lego cities? I don't know. Any like animal cities? Still beautiful clouds, but we've sort of lost our way. Hi Jay, how are you? Are you doing life drawing tonight? It's like the spooky season. Ant City. Ooh, there's ant cities. Fictional cities. Yes, Conan, at the moment we're looking for reference. We're doing nighttime cityscapes is our prompt for Oiltober. So I've been looking on Unsplash at the copyright-free ones. Ooh, Coruscant from Star Wars. Atlantis! Hi, Monique! How are you? Oh. Oh, you're in class. Oops. I should be quiet and not distracting you, shouldn't I? Alright. Gonna use Google for Coruscant because that's not gonna be on the free site. Ooh. What about Minas Tirith? Lord of the Rings. Gotham is cool. Bat Signal in the Clouds is cool. Still doing a lot of straight lines. I didn't even see you get here. I'm sorry. Hello. How are you? Yeah, I agree. Don't say that. You're very important to me. I'm just not watching the chat as closely as I should while flicking through photos of... It is meant to be a nighttime cityscape, and I feel like Minas Tirith is very daytime environment, as much as that's a bit darker. Oh, look at the Lego one. Oh, that's cute. How are you, Sally? How was your day today? Alright, let's get off Minas Tirith. Let's go. Just fictional city. I'm so sorry the sound keeps going out like this. It's so annoying. I will figure it out. I was just saying with these sort of laneway shots, I could have like a figure coming out of the gloom or something like that. Alright, let's go back to our royalty-free images and go... Nothing obvious in the microphone settings. Click to behave.
No, nothing obvious. How dare. Oh, galaxies are pretty. I could do a galaxy and then just do like a silhouette of a cityscape. Is that cheating? Is that cheating too much? To just like... Because obviously with the light flooding properties of a city, you probably wouldn't see a galaxy, but we make things up in art all the time. Then I could make it look more like a fictional city, because like, oh, look at that. That's just pretty. Mike's a bit weird. Oh no, what did I push? What did I push?
Is that better? I think it's set to a different microphone. Is that better again? Tell me if you hear me say purple monkey dishwasher and it sounds better. Lowered quality. Is it still low quality? It changed to a different mic by the look of it. Dang it. Oh, better? Yay! Believe it. I'll stop touching things. Stop touching things, Liz. We'll break everything. Yay, thank you. Oh, see, look at the moon. That's pretty. And that's nightscape. I wanted to see that reference. Beautiful. Look at that. I sound further away. Maybe I'm just mumbling. Microphone, come closer to me. Hello. I moved the mic closer. Yeah, before I think it switched to the webcam mic rather than the microphone that's next to me. So hopefully that will behave now. I really like this reference picture, but it's not particularly the prompt. It's pretty. I promise you, I do not have a microphone in my mouth. Oh, that's kind of pretty. Light glow bunting is very Melbourne lane. Kind of pretty. Oh, it's a dog! I swear, pugs come up in so many of my searches. Just, pugs are taking over the internet. Something terrible. Oh, we could do something like that. She's in a city landscape. Corgi. No, we're not doing random people. Oh, this person's shooting lasers out of their face. City from orbit. Ooh. I'm pretty sure I could be a distraction inspiration both at the same time. If I tried hard. That's really pretty too, actually. Maybe just a glowy cityscape. Things that glow are just so pretty. Where is that one? That is really pretty. I could do something with that, actually. We could even do the bat signal thing with that, actually, if we wanted to. Because if I paint the whole thing with dark tones first, then I can go into it with a lighter tone and just pull out those details. Alright, I like this plan. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. Let's do... If I switch you back. Tent cityscapes on this piece of paper, because we're going to cover most of the inclusions. And then we'll do our red flag on this one, so it'll be like... Might even flip it. Where are all the white to the bottom? Put that prompt over there and put that prompt over there. Yay! Okay, we got a plant. Need some more medium. Yeah. Is everyone feeling excited in Melbourne for the official end of first stage lockdown tomorrow? I managed to get in with my hairdresser, so the green is gonna come back. My hair is so faded. And I was a bit nervous going out when there was heaps of people, so at the moment the hairdressers can't have too many people at once, so I'm like, probably better for me to go now instead of later when it will be more relaxed and there'll be heaps of people. So I'm very excited for that. I'm gonna get my green back and then feel more like myself again. Yeah, haircuts, they just refresh you, for sure. You doing anything fun, Yik? You doing a mohawk? Or shaving a cool design into the back of your head? Yeah, I've got to ask these questions. Alright. I've got my picture of my red flag. And then I've got my picture of my nightscape. Cool. I'm gonna lay in the colour for the nightscape first. Let's do that. Do a whole bunch of teal, a bunch of indents from blue, a whole bunch of medium. It's all nice and liquidy. That's the thing, when you're painting one colour into another, you want it to be nice and liquid so they play together rather than resist each other. I don't think I want to cover the whole page, but I'll definitely cover a band. Like that to side. I tried using masking tape on these pages the other day, just a bit shorter. Yeah, that's fair. Where it's not annoying your ears and your face. I want it a little bit shorter. I'm probably gonna chop like that much off. You know, that's dramatic. I just want it to be back up here on my chest rather than going down towards my butt. That's the thing with long hair, you know it's too long when you start sitting on it. Some people are talented and move it out of the way every time. I am not talented. I sit on it and then I'm like, now it's too long. Even when it's on my lower back, getting in and out of the car, sometimes I yank my own hair. I'm just like, nope, that will do. Plus, it's good to get the ends healthy. Cut regularly. By regular, I mean every 6 to 8 months for me. And slow hair turnaround person. Slow hair grower. Yeah, I think the last time I had my hair done was about January or February, somewhere around there. So it's been a long time. Do we want to film a reel or a TikTok while I'm doing this? Let's film. Slowly getting into these. My problem is if I'm filming a like time lapse at the same time, it tends to interrupt the time lapse and then I have to keep moving because I've got my phone in the way. It's a fun process though. I really enjoy like picking music to go with the random paintings. Do a little sweep over the colours. Come down to the front. One clip. I am so not a fancy TikToker, but I try my best. And I am on TikTok if any of you are on TikTok and you have not found me. I'm just Liz Gridley artist on there. Ah! Almost dropped my phone. What happened then? Try that again. Yeah. Alright, now you gotta remind me to keep filming later, because when I do dramatic changes, I get to film it. I get to into the painting. I get to film, and then I ruin the real thing. TikToking. Which one was I doing? I was doing Oddities, the one where I did a picture of an elephant skull. And I forgot to film 80% of the painting. So I found a sound that was just like, look at your palette and then look at what you did with it. And I'm like, cool, then I can just show the start and the end of the painting. That got me out of a spot with that one, because yeah, I forgot. I got too into what I was doing. Which is not a terrible problem, but it doesn't make for good TikToking. Needs to be a better verb for the creation of a TikTok. Alright, so you can see I've just chucked in some crimson over there, so I'm just going to slowly blend between a couple of colours to create this dark background. And I don't want it to be 100% dark, I want it to be sort of 60 to 70%, so that way we have room to bump it up and down when we're putting in the buildings and the landscape. So we have a bit of control. I really like the language of painting one colour into another because they really sort of interact. Like this colour that I just put into the red here is exactly the same as up here, but it's mixed and given it this nice depth. They tend to do. We have a band of slightly brighter colour here above the cloudscape, so putting in a bit of turquoise. I did buy some extra water-soluble, oil colours this week, so I've got a lot of nice secondaries. I got a really nice orange, I got turquoise, I got this light turquoise, which is like, what's it called? Ice green. That one's really, really nice. But I got brilliant pink, which you would have seen in yesterday's Oiltober of the Melt, the skull candle. That one's quite handy. So yeah, I find those secondary colours quite handy to buy because you can always get them much brighter and higher chroma through purchasing them than you can through mixing them a lot of the time. Mixing them, you can still get close to the colour, but a lot of the time it's much calmer. And I like my colours very bright and excitable. You guys know me. I'm excited. Tomorrow is Friday. This week has... I don't know what it's been about this week. I've done lots of really nice things this week, but I've felt very lethargic. Just in between. I think it's because I'm not sleeping well at the moment, which is a poo. Get up probably 3 times a night, and sometimes I get back to bed and I'm just not sleepy at all, so that's not helping. Comes with the hurricane. There we go. This is kind of cool. It's like creating a really subtle cloudscape in the background. Let's... It's gonna be that question of how much of the page do I want to cover. Usually is. I'll let it up. That little flick there. I definitely still want the page. A lot of empty space breathing through. And then at the bottom we've got water. So I might actually end it a little bit more with horizontal strokes to give it that impression. Then at the top we've got strokes that are sort of rising up a little bit, and then at the bottom it'll sort of go straighter. So just giving the idea. Be nice to myself. I am doing a lot today. I just don't have a lot of control over what I'm doing day to day with growing a baby. It's just sort of happening, and I'm like along for the ride. It is weird suddenly giving up like your body autonomy to this weird process I have no control over, but it's interesting. It's very interesting. Very cool. It's just weird. I'm pretty sure I've said this is weird like 100 times already about pregnancy, but I will continue to say it because it is weird. Weird but fast. Did start down a weird YouTube rabbit hole of people doing their like birth stories the other day, and I shouldn't do that because everyone does birth so many different ways, and how much control you have over it is very all over the place. And some of those birth stories are just anxiety inducing. Other ones are just like they're just trying to sell you their random DVDs on birth tips, and you're just like There's a whole weird section of the internet I've never been to before, so there you go. Yeah, integrating that red. Okay. It is effort for my body. Thank you. I'm trying my best. I was very proud, yes, earlier this week, Jess and I took Dipper on a walk with the pram, which was very exciting. So she walked ahead or behind with Jess while I pushed the pram, and she wasn't too weirded out by it. She was definitely aware of it, but she wasn't like actively running away from it, which was really good because eventually we're going to go on walks all together, Hurricane Dipper and I. So I need her to get used to the pram. So that's very exciting. Cool. Alright, that's our very basic background, or what we're going to paint into for the nighttime seascape. While we've got that there, I'm just going to jump into the red flag for a bit. I think the main reason I like red flag, I like it when we've just got a bunch of drapery fabric that you can sort of play with. I don't know, surrender flag. I'm not in the mood for surrendering. But red flags are something you should watch out for. And recently on Twitter, yeah, it's been a thing where everyone's like saying random red flags that they've heard on dates and things like that, and just putting a bunch of the red flag emoticons on it. So I don't know, I like the comedy of that, of someone just being all like, oh, that's a nope. And I like that we can be so audible nowadays about our boundaries and about things that, yeah, if you're in the dating world and something is a big fat nope, say it's a big fat nope. You're not obliged to date anyone who's a big fat red flag. Or a big wavy red flag would be better terminology. I don't know. But yes, this tomatoey red is really nice and bright. And then I've got the darker crimson, which I might need some more of. That one is not. Ugh, that one. Is the Cobra. What's this one? Primary magenta? Is that the one? Yeah, that's the one. Oh, I wouldn't call that magenta under normal circumstances, but sure. Definitely got that blue undertone to it, which is nice. Video for real! Thank you, Jess. Oh, I should have done the squeeze of the tube. Do I need more of any other colours? That's okay, I'll just have a blob. I'll do a zoom of the blob. Oop. Just a blob. Do that again. And with the blob. Blob. Yeah, we'll do the blob blob. Oh, we didn't film the prompt for this one, did we? Okay. Thank you, Jess. That was very helpful. Yay. Alright. Let's block in. Oh, my brush is so saturated now. I picked up paint twice. It's fine. It's gonna be a simple painting, but also I can have fun with the shadows on the drapery. So, kind of like having one that's more complicated and one that's more simple at the same time is nice. Who knows, maybe this will make me like fabric again once I finish my last painting, the big one, Allegory of Uncertainty and Beauty. I was a bit over fabric at that point. Has everyone seen that one on YouTube? Oh, that video, it was like, what, 30 something hours of footage? And I didn't even film the entire time I was painting. It was insane. But that's what you do when you bite off a big challenge for yourself, which is good. I'm glad I did that, and I'm glad it got into an art prize. That was a lot of fun this year. She just got back from Adelaide. I got her back, what, last week? Last week. Which is exciting. And the model for that piece is actually going to be able to come and see it next week, which is very exciting, because she hasn't seen the piece in person. She's only seen photos of it. Whole time, because the second I finished it, I entered it in the Kennedy. And then it was whisked away to Adelaide when it got in, so that was very exciting. Oh, also, we've got a lot of new music tonight. Chill Hop just did a big update. What's the artist's name? Sleepy Fish has done a whole lot of new music, and then this one is from Hans. Oh, no, it's not. It's from Smile High and Teddy Roxbury. I might go back to the Sleepy Fish stuff actually, because I really like Sleepy Fish and I played when I was getting ready. I do like on Chill Hop, all the artists have really interesting names. Cloud Chord, Smile High, Delayed. There's lots of cool names in there. You guys have the most fun names. Like, listen to this one. This one's really pretty. The track's called I Main Samus now. I'm like, are you playing Smash Brothers? What are you playing? Anyway, red flag, red flag, red flag. There you are. Might do another little. Do you want to do a straight line? Yeah. This is going to be so confusing later because I'm going to have all my movie clips all mixed up. I'll figure it out later. That's future Liz's problem. Alright. If you guys want to be zoomed in, I might zoom you in a little bit. Remember, we've got high definition now. Oh, it's so pretty. You can see the difference between the two reds. This is my bright tomatoey red compared to the crimson I've been putting in. So pretty. Hi! Oh, do we have a visitor? Hello, darling! Can you guys see her? Oh, just, hello. Hello, how are you? How are you? Now you're gonna go straight back to daddy. Did you see her? Oh, what a noggin. He just wanted to come say hello and cover me in goo. Didn't ya? Oh. Beautiful. Where's your pig? Oh no, wait, maybe not the pig. The pig is loud. You want to play with one of your quiet toys? Said pig by accident. Good girl. It's your turn. Okay, you can leave the door open now. Girl, you can settle. She's very indecisive about whether she wants to be in or out. Yik says hi. Kristen says cute. She's walked off. We had a visit. That's nice. How are you, Kristen? How's things? Doing another Oiltober double. I've got another 2 to catch up on after these 2. So it's gonna be a painty night with a painty day tomorrow, I think. I might actually, I'm flirting with the idea of doing an Instagram live tomorrow. Just to see if anyone on Instagram doesn't know that I do this over on YouTube, but we'll see how we go. I have to set up the phone for that. Yeah, okay, I like painting fabric again. Oh, it's a mini Dr. Batman cameo, a mini one. I'm feeling a bit better, thanks Kristen. I'm still very lethargic and what was the other thing? Bad at sleeping, which is not great, but we're hitting 20 weeks pregnant tomorrow, so it feels very exciting to be sort of halfway with the pregnancy, so yeah, it's exciting times as much as, yeah, I definitely have better days and worse days with how I'm feeling. So trying to just take it slow, and I think that was the announcement I put on YouTube yesterday. I'm not sure if you all saw it, but I'm changing to a fortnightly live stream schedule just to take a bit of the pressure off myself and to have more time to actually produce the normal YouTube videos, because during Oiltober so far I've found it really difficult to produce the normal videos. I think what I'm going to do is do 2 wrap-up videos at the end of the month or in the start of November, rather than try and do them as we go. I keep doing like sessions of editing. I'll do like 2 hours of editing and I'm just mentally zapped, unfortunately. So I'd rather focus more of my energy on the painting and just filming like the little reely things, and then at the end of the month do some wrap-up videos where I go a bit more in depth into my thought process for each of the pieces and things like that. Yeah, so those 2 changes, a little bit less live streaming and more time for normal videos at the end of the month, I think will take the pressure off a bit. Yeah, and just help me recenter a little bit. with my new energy level, which is less. Oh, hello, darling. Come to over flat. You're good. Still don't know why the other camera isn't working. Do we want me to experiment a little bit? Let's experiment a little bit. What one was it? It was... I put a new video capture device on. That exists. No, it's not that one. Maybe it's not. Oh, it's not plugged in. That's the problem. If I plug it in, she'll leave the room because I have to get up to do that. Every time I get up, she's like, yes, now we're going over there so you and Dad can hang in the same spot just so I can be happy. She does not have the patience for me fiddling with stuff. I'm sorry, I think that means no puppy cam tonight. I'll promise I'll try my hardest to get it fixed for next session. And you will get puppy cam back. Really cardboard. Fair enough. She's been very good at destroying the cereal box I finished yesterday. And what else did you throw? There's another box of something that we finished. She made short work of that. It is a lot on top of making a person, yeah. But I like doing all the things that I do. I like doing YouTube and I like doing art creation. I like doing Instagram. I like doing normal art sales and art painting. I like doing everything that I do. So I'm very stubborn when it comes to like not doing things to give my body a break. So we'll figure it out. It'll be fine. And I'm friends with a lot of creatives who are just as stubborn as me, so part of me is like, I can do it all, it's fine. Then I go on a walk with Dipper and get like puffed 10 minutes in. Ooh, we should film now that we're doing a highlight. Filmy, film. Filmy, film. Okay. Film it. Boop. Boop. So interesting how you just need to film a teeny tiny little bit and then it like all comes together in the video. It's quite fun. The style I didn't like originally because this whole sort of stop-start painting approach, but I've gotten used to it. What we'll do is we'll block in the whole flag, and then I think we'll jump back to the other piece, then come back and do highlights once it's had a chance to settle a little bit. What does the actual red flag emoticon look like? Can you guys post some emoticons in the chat? The red flag one? Do we have all the emoticons? Is it a pointed flag or is it a square-edged flag? Painting could sort of go either way at this point. Where is the red? Oh, there it is! Okay, it's that one. Okay, so it is pointed. Thank you, Kristen! We found it at the same time. Oh, yours was a golf flag. That one's different. Oh no, where did chat go? Go chat. YouTube. Cool. Okay, so do we want to make it a pointed flag? Let's make it a pointed flag. Need to like create this bit. It's sort of whoop. Oh, I hate this that this bit is here. How do I remove that? Let's try and remove it with a dry brush. Let's see how we go. This is water-based, water-soluble paints. See if we can scrub a bit off. Problem is the red's very pigmented. Won't give up the goat easily. Making a mess. Come on. What's kind of coming? Anytime you're trying to scrub off a bit of paint, it's really good to have a slightly stiffer bristle rather than a more absorbent one, because it won't sort of flop the paint around, it'll try and actually pull it off the surface. Much harder with canvas, the more textured your surface, the more it doesn't want to give up the goat. Oh, I forgot to put gloves on again. Oh well. I said at the start of Oiltober I'd wear gloves every day, and I failed miserably at that. That's mostly off the paper. Saturating the paper a bit too much. Well, maybe I could go in with a bit of white paint and fake it. But never even know that I painted over that bit. Does that look like paper? Maybe it will when it dries. Some of the staining might just be that it's wet. Still find using water really alien paints, but it's working. And I definitely, like, my room doesn't smell like oil paints now. It was the only flag you could come up with on the PC. That's fair. That's fair. That's a flag we didn't think of as a golfing flag. We could have done a golf hole. Then it would be 2 landscapes in one night. I don't know if I'm capable of that. Yeah, I think that looks... And the good thing is, the way that we filmed the reel, you probably won't even be able to tell that we made that mistake. It's fine. I'm gonna pretend it doesn't exist. I don't understand how people can do like super straight lines while holding their camera while filming a reel. I think a lot of people use tripods and things, but when I've already got the tripod running this camera, I think having extra tripods, there wouldn't be no room for me. There would just be tripods everywhere. I've already got one tripod holding up the light over there, and then one tripod holding up this. It is no more room for tripods. Dangerbeard, the Dangerbeard, he told me about a nice little camera I could put on my easel, light I could put on my easel though, so my face isn't so hemispherical. What is it? Like one side of my face is dark and one side is like... But I don't mind it. I don't have to put as much effort into makeup if my face is just white. Easy. I did put on eyeliner for you guys tonight, because you know I care about you. I do. Alright, so that's sort of our basic flaggy shape. All about bringing in light. But that's the basic flag. It's going the wrong way for the emoticon, but I don't. Should have thought about it that at the start, but maybe that's why this is even more a legitimate red flag, as per the phrase, because it's going the wrong way. I don't know. Your brush gets really saturated, that's when it feels like you're painting with like cake icing. Everything is so goopy. I don't have the... This is where I wish I had an actual gold or something, so I could do like shiny gold coming down from the flagpole, but I don't. Alex, waste oil. Gonna have to make some. I think you can get silver and gold. Get on the metallics. I know you can get some fluoro colors from Holbein, but they're not light fast. So that makes me wary because I want everyone who purchases a piece to have a piece that's not going to fade in direct UV sunlight, and if I buy non-light fast paints, that's always a risk, which is not ideal. What did I say about doing straight lines onto paper? Not fun. Oh, I should do a rule for this. But, oh. Oh. That'll do for now. Always add to it. Yeah. Alright, distracted by my phone. Distracted? We're all good. We're all good. Okay. Cool. I reckon let's switch back to the night landscape. Let's do that. Zoom you guys out. Whoop. A little bit. There you go, now you can see both a bit closer. Oh, I love the new camera so much. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Bumping up some of the colour. Now that it's settled a little bit and I can see it a bit more, I just want some more. I should change back to my other reference picture. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. Okay. Cool. Okay. Now, with a very light hand, ooh, thank you, Jess. There you go. Alright, I'm just going to use this very light ice blue. Put in a horizon line. Oh, this is going to be hard to film because I want to see the whole thing. Yeah. Alright. What do I want to go? There. So that's sort of where I want the city to sit, and then we can do a bit of a reflection coming down as well of the main lights. Now, do I want to do exactly that bridge or do it? Yeah, I'll do exactly that bridge, that's fine. It'll look different for us. Sort of reminds me of the city in Pikachu, Detective Pikachu, because it's so glowy. See, even though I'm using a really bright blue, it's already coming out darker because I'm painting into wet paint. That's exactly what I want. I want to be able to have it integrate with the colours I've already put down. Boost it more. Damn. I'm super excited for opening up because now we can have studio days again and have crafty times together and hang out and do arty things, which will be really nice. Granted, Dipper's bed is like a giant foam single mattress that takes up most of this room, but I'll figure out a way to get the couch in. I'll figure out a way. And then who knows, we might have a guest star on live stream some night, something like that. If people want to come over and craft and art with me. Yeah. That little bridge. Collar and oh, this is taking me back to high school perspective. Yes, guests. I can have special guests on the live stream. And then it's like a podcast mixed with a live stream with random chatting. We can all sit here and hanker for desserts together. We normally talk about food and then I got all hungry. Yeah. Sure, you can cuddle with Dipper on her bed. It is not supportive for your back at all. Oh sure, that's fine. She would love that. Yeah. Jumping on Jess is one of her favourite hobbies. And Sally, although Sally Ridley did not let her jump all over her last time she was here. Which, again, is completely fine, but she was sad. Sad me. Oh, that looks cute. Oh, I should have filmed it. Yeah, it's fine. Alright, I'll film this bit. There we go. And Sally as well, yes. Being jumped all over by the puppy. I'm gonna bring the puppy on Sunday, so you might get jumped up on then. Although I'm gonna take her, I might like get there and then take her for a walk so she can be a little sleepier. Trying to make sure the light's in the background. The darker mix. There you go, you get the actual bridge structure. I should really be using a small brush. Why am I still using the big brush for this? Liz, why? Why? There we go, we'll switch down to like a teeny weeny little dude. Nope. You don't want a focus camera? Right there. Haha! He's just a little angle brush, this guy. Whoop. He'll be good for this. Gradually gonna start building a city from the right to the left, which is the opposite of the way I should be going because I'm right-handed and should start on the left, but this was the part closest to, so this is the part I'm starting with. Let's go. It's a little glowy bridge, dude. A bit bright. Yep. Definitely use some other colors, like here, colors, things like that, just so we can change temperature as we. to do a lot more wood. As gunk off my brush. That's a really bit. I just did 3 dots, but that still counts. Alright, I think we should go dark now. Put an outline on the top of the city. Now, I don't have a lamp black, unfortunately, which I prefer darkest dark. I do have Indancer in blue, which is great, and I have some Fennel black, which is okay. Not super great. Let's put out some more Indancer. Oh, now I can do... This has been one of my favourite things to do lately with the reels, is do like a little bit of footage of the goop coming out of the tube. Alright, so goop. Goop. Yeah. I think it's just satisfying seeing paint come out of the tube, honestly. It's one of those weird artist things where you just like paint coming out of a tube, just that goop. Yes. Like how last time we were talking about watching paint mixing and just how delicious it looks. Just, oh, looks so good. Alright. I think I'm just going to go in with the Indancer in blue and see if we want to add that Spinel black or not. Spinel black is a semi-transparent black. And it sort of has a bit of a brownness to it that I don't like. Alright, so that's going to be... Really should be about the same height as the lower end of the bridge, which it kind of is, actually. That's not too bad. It's the highest building on this. Sort of squishing and simplifying this landscape a lot, which is inevitable. But hopefully it will read okay. I can't do dots as tiny as photography dots, per se. Gonna block shapes. Okay. Our horizon. Gonna keep dragging some blue below that line as go made. Straight line. Mini dude. A lot of the time the buildings are just going to end up as wide as my brush because that is easy to make. Yeah. What about it's going to be showing buildings layered in front of the building? This is definitely something I haven't painted in years. This kind of thing. Which, this is the good part of Oiltober, is challenging myself, but it's just kind of unnerving almost. Vulnerable feeling? Painting something you're so unfamiliar with. And now I'm painting clouds because it's more comfortable? No, bad Liz. This kind of look like there's a fire on the left-hand side. Oh, no worries, Sally. You have fun with your Squid Games. I hope you don't die. That's a thing in Squid Games, isn't it? No worries. I am intrigued to kind of watch Squid Game, but it's just one of those things. Everyone says watch the subs, not the dub, and I don't have a lot of time and energy for subs at the moment. I've gotten back into... do you guys use the watch later feature on YouTube? It like automatically populates a playlist for you just under the name watch later. I liberally add things to my watch later. I probably add 10 things for every one thing that I watch. Recently started actually sitting down and trying to get through it. I've gotten down from 700 videos to 600 videos. Not watching every single one and sort of skim watching a few things where I've just like gone, oh, is this something I'm interested in? Nah, not really. I watched a bit of it, it's fine. But yeah, so that's been quite fun to sort of revisit things that I know I've looked at one point and gone, oh yeah, that was something I was interested in. The hard one is all the really long art streams, which are like 2 hours long, and I'm like, I need to sit down and watch this properly when I have time. Oh, when do I make time? Not often. There's some really good ones by Stephen Bauman. I love his stuff. And he's quite articulate with how he talks about art. Like, one of my guilty pleasure ones is Baumgartner Restorations. He is a professional art restorer. And just watching how he approaches different pieces and different problems, and just his videos are a bit like 30 minutes to 45 minutes, but I easily make time for that because it's just like a guilty pleasure watch of like, oh yes. And he's very articulate and has a lovely speaking voice for it as well, so I think he puts a lot of effort into scripting his videos, which makes a big difference, I think. Alright, so I've just noticed there's a fair bit of light coming from the city itself, and I think that's where my problem was, with the fact that it was so dark here already. Hard to add a silhouette where it's already so dark, so I'm just going to go in and add some light. There it is, and that will make little shapes stand out. Yeah. Right. That'll work. Hi Celine, how are you? How's things? Welcome to the stream. We're doing some more Oiltobers today. How are you? Blah. Oh, thanks, Kat. I just like chatting. You know that. I'm a chatter. Which I think is why I've been enjoying live streaming so much, because we can just sort of free chat and I don't feel the pressure to script or anything like that, what I want to say. This is just... I like to chat paint all day long. It's fun! That's the thing, paint does have to be fun. Oh, thank you, Yik. Yes, the prompts for tonight are flag, which we're doing on the right, we're doing a red flag. And then on the left we're doing nighttime cityscapes. Haven't seen a live since the first two. Oh, that's okay, that's okay. I've just changed the schedule actually, so we're going to be doing fortnightly live streams rather than weekly. Just because I was finding it was a bit much, and I'm pregnant at the moment, so I'm just trying to take it a little bit easier on myself, and yeah, space out my time a bit more, because yeah, I want to be able to do normal YouTube videos as well. I like doing the pre-recorded videos as well. So that's something that once Oiltober's finished, I'll get back into that a bit more. Do some wrap-up videos talking about how we went with all the paintings. But yeah, I think it'll be good. So yeah, every second Thursday, 8 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time. So next week there won't be live stream. Week after that there'll be another one. Should work out pretty well, I'm hoping. And that's the good thing about live streaming. We can just sort of change and relax with the flow. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is our first, so it's very, very exciting. First time for everything. Yeah. Going well so far. I'm hitting, what, like halfway tomorrow. Which feels good. It feels a bit safer to get to 20 weeks. Okay, more darks. More darks. Get all the darks in. I sort of started and then I got distracted. And to be shorter. Yeah. Go sort of up, down, up a little bit. What over here is it's got like this light spill coming from the bridge, but there is buildings. I'm gonna do the littlest inferring buildings behind. Oh boop. Stuff going on behind the bridge. Bit quiet. Should be okay. Yeah. Oh, you're opening a portrait. It's so early in the morning. What you doing up that early? You're very motivated to get up and start a portrait this early. Well done. Well done. Who's the portrait of? Someone you know, or just sort of a image that captured you? Oh, hello, puppy. What you doing? Running around. Okay. I do apologize. Puppy cam isn't working today because it's not plugged in. Actually, washing? No. We're painting. I'm not going to distract myself and spend half an hour playing with puppy cam. I will have it working by next stream though. Okay. Let's do a reflection. I'm using a reference cat, so this one is from Unsplash. So with a lot of the Oiltobers, because I don't know what I'm painting before I sit down to paint it, I chuck the prompt straight into some free stock sites. So I normally use Unsplash or Pixabay, they're my two go-tos, and then see if something inspires me. Sometimes it'll remind me of something else, like the last Oiltober I did was actually a candle here in my room. I started looking at all these pictures for Melt of candles, and then I realized I had the perfect thing literally behind me, so I painted that as a still life from life. Oh, I should film another bit of reel. We're practicing reel filming tonight as well. So I will have a TikTok and a reel later to post. Okay, what am I doing? More of that bright blue. Have it reflect down in the water. Oh, this one's so reflective, it's kind of hard to see what I'm doing. I have to film from the side. You're a night owl. Oh, fair enough. And it's a reference you took. Yay, that's awesome. Well, jump in the Discord and post what you're up to. There's a little section in there for what am I working on for everyone, so I'd love to see what you're up to. I do admit, I've been painting a lot of not portraits in this challenge, and I'm sort of itching to do a portrait again, but tonight's prompts didn't easily lend themselves to portraits, so a prompt will come. It'll come. I think my favourite painting is still the one of Anne. Gentleman with the side profile. Down. And because this is wet and wet paint, I can then sort of I can go in and sort of glide the paint around from side to side to show the texture of the water. Film it from quite a bit. That helps. A little bit. That looks kind of awful, but I'll fix it. Sound effects while painting. Completely essential. That looks better. It was just too dramatic. Oh, your portraits are your specialty. Beautiful. I love portraits. Portraits are definitely one of my... I call myself a figurative artist, so it's definitely one of my favorite things to paint, but like, particularly while doing the Oiltober challenge, I try and stretch myself to do things I don't normally do. Like, tonight we're doing a landscape, which I just never do. I follow some amazing landscape artists, like Austin Howlett's one here on YouTube. He's lovely, absolutely lovely human being. He does beautiful American landscapes. And like, he has this series that's like people integrated into landscapes, which I find really interesting and cool. Full name for it. Giants or something. Brain is suffering at... That's okay. Beautiful. Alright, so that's the gist. I think I want to go up with the clouds just a little bit more on this side, just to fill a bit more of the page. I just feel like it's all a bit squat at the moment. I'm gonna go up a little bit more. Let it fade out to dark a bit more. So it sort of definitely goes from dark to light to dark to light to dark. White light sort of reverberates off the city. It's definitely kind of banded as it's hitting things. So it's literally going from like dark sea, light hitting the sea, dark cityscape with light poking through, darkness above the city, then sort of a band where it hits the clouds the most, and then dark again. I like that being a bit more asymmetrical, so it's like a eye. I think. We'll also shout out that most of my TikToking filming experience and inspiration comes from some of my friends on TikTok who are amazing artists. Artilly by Cat and Cat Art Illustrations. I know two cats. They're both lovely. One's a cat with a C, one's a cat with a K. Cat Art Illustrations with a K. Artilly by Cat with a C. But it's like A-R-T-I-L-Y. Yeah. Those two are whizzes at the TikToks. I am still a novice. I'm having fun. Feel me bit. Bit. It's a very uncomfortable hand position because I was hitting myself in the finger. Eh. I don't know that though, because I put music over the top so no one hears the sounds. Am I using any mediums? I am using a medium. I'm using the Cobra Water Soluble Oil Paint Quick Dry Medium, which is lovely, because the problem with doing a painting a day is your room very quickly gets covered in tiny little paintings that you don't want to get smudged. So I'm just dipping into it occasionally. That's why I've got this like little, it's actually a candle holder, but little dish with a bit in it. And I just dip my brush in when I want to moisten my brush. I just painted my bucket. No. Buckets. I can teach you how to live, or at least the very, very basics, because that's how much I know. Not a problem. Live is not as hard as I thought it would be, but at the same time, I'm still learning. I still want to be able to set up alerts and things when people subscribe or donate, and I haven't got that set up at the moment, so that's on the to-do list. I have met some lovely friends over on Twitch and things like that, Australian streamers, and they are very, eager to educate as well, which is quite lovely. So they've given me some pointers. But yeah, I sort of followed a bunch of YouTube videos about how to set up OBS, which is the open source streaming software. And then you can use cloud-based software for all your alerts and commands and things like that, which I use Stream Elements, but that's the one that I barely know what I'm doing in Stream Elements. OBS, I get the basics. The problem with OBS is when they do updates, product updates and things like that, sometimes you'll lose your scenes and you'll lose your overlays, which is like how the screen is set up, like how I've got the circle around me and things like that. So it's just one thing to be aware of, that if you use cloud-based software, you're less likely to lose stuff. Which is good. No one wants to lose this. Now that side goes up a lot higher. Yeah. That seems a lot more balanced. Even though it's more asymmetrical, it guides the eye. So the eye's sort of coming in this way and then going up this way. And that sort of slant I really enjoy. Alright, so I'm going to clean off that brush because I went back to the big brush. And I think we're going to go back to our flag for a little bit. And then I'll come back and add all the city lights. So that should be good. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to zoom you guys in on the flag. Give me 1 sec to reposition you. Flaggy time. Boop. There you go. Yeah, Kat, this is my new camera I got. How nice is it? You can see all the textures. We were doing some Ko-fi crowdfunding to get to here, and then I sold a couple of paintings, and that got us over the line in the end, which was absolutely fabulous. Very, very happy about that. This one truly is our camera for the stream, from the stream. And I'm very, very thankful to everyone who donated. I've got some little mini paintings coming to the people who donated, so thank you guys so much. Oh, okay. What do I want to do? I think I first want to put in some darks. That flag. Let's get really dark first and work our way up to light. Gonna mix up really nice red, purpley thing. More dark. I don't want to use this everywhere. There's red. I want to use it. Use it everywhere, then it stops looking like a red flag and it starts looking like a burgundy flag. Thank you. It's sort of a halfway between. It's the Sony ZV-E10, so it's got manual mode, but it's not... It does have all automatic settings as well. I should get an automatic egg timer so it buzzes me to remind me to film for the real TikTok. That is very true. That's something I can add on Stream Elements apparently, is I can add little timers where it'll yell at me, because a lot of streamers have it where it sort of yells at them to drink water or to get up after a certain amount of time and stretch. So yes, that is a very good point. I should get to do that. I don't think it would work as well on the big projects that I do, but little ones. Although you guys are putting a pretty good alerts team, just saying. Doing a good job. Good job. Down here on the flagpole edge is the darkest values of the whole painting is. Seems it. Very sharp point, like it. Out there, and then it switches to... Yeah, Kat, before I was using just a Logitech webcam, which is the one I'm using on my face at the moment. And the difference is night and day between my old live streams and now. You can see so much more detail and the colours of the paint. So happy. Makes such a difference. Especially when I'm talking about like subtleties of blending and things like that. If you can't see it, it's just not helpful. A video of how I set up for live streams? I don't know if there's a lot to tell. I probably can, yeah, because it's not as hard as it seems. Like, I think that's the thing with live streaming. I had this idea in my head that it was really, really difficult, and so I held off for ages. But then I did end up starting with just a little point and shoot Panasonic camera I had. Is that what I started with? I think that's what I started with. Because yeah, I've started my first live stream 2 years ago, but my internet connection was so terrible in my old house that then I didn't do it for over a year. And then in this house, when did I start live streaming, guys? It's been a while. Look. When did I start? I think I've been doing it over 6 months now, haven't I? Go into playlists. I've been doing it over 6 months now. Oh, I just watched myself. That was weird. Did you guys hear that? That one. Yeah, so I've been doing it only since June. In this house, and at least in this house, yeah, the connection is much, much better, and it's stable enough that you guys don't get buffering every 5 minutes, hopefully. And yeah, like my husband's quite lovely and makes sure that I get as much bandwidth as possible most times when I live stream. But other than that, it's not as hard to set up. I think the main thing is I recommend OBS as the main program you use because it's pretty universal and it's free software, so it's easy for anyone to grab. And there are so many guides online on how to use OBS or how to like get it started, because that's what I used. I used just a few YouTube videos that were like, here's how to set up your connection, here's where your encryption key is, go from there. You can even live stream. The YouTube app is not bad on the phone if you want to do your first live stream from your phone. I just recommend getting a tripod or something to hold your phone because you don't want to hold it in your hand your whole time. That is just yeah. And that's what I was thinking. Tomorrow I might do a little live stream for my Instagram, and that I would probably just do on my phone because Instagram is not sophisticated enough to use proper live stream setup. At least I'm pretty sure it's not. I haven't tried in ages, but I'm pretty sure you can't connect OBS to Instagram. Facebook is not up on that stuff. No worries. If you've got direct questions, you can also pop them in our Discord. The Discord link's just below, because that's a really good place where I can sort of come back and answer questions later. So if I'm asleep or anything like that, well, you've got questions, just pop them in there and I'll get to them. Got some time. That's easy. Yeah, even the Logitech webcams are pretty good when you're starting out because they're only like $100 and they're good enough quality that you can sort of, especially if you're painting bigger, they're great. It's when you're painting small I struggled with it, but you can sort of zoom in and zoom out and move the camera around, which is quite handy for a webcam compared to this one that's like full lens and everything. What was I doing? Highlights. Just figuring out the flagpole itself, which is the most detailed zone. I need a darker brown flagpole shadow. I just do. Right, that's good. Instagram's coming out with a new feature where you can schedule lives. Ooh, that sounds good. wonder if they'll allow it to work through the computer and not phones. I would love that. Don't get me wrong, I like my Google Pixel 4 on my phone. It's fine. It's just it struggles sometimes with that kind of stuff. And the fact is, I use my phone so heavily. If I start live streaming with it, it's gonna run out of battery a lot faster because I use it for so many other things. Light on the flag, put it down. I want to keep it pretty simple because we are sort of basing it on an emoticon, but more changes in light and that I can add, the more interesting. And add a drop shadow. Like a shadow byline to it. Something like that to like make it pop out of the background. Or a white outline. A white outline might look good. Especially then we can cover up our little red smudge from earlier that hasn't fully disappeared. Even with 2 layers of gesso, this paper is pretty textured, so it's always bound to struggle with moving paint from it. There we go. Cool. That's the flagpole. Got light coming down here. Flag. And pole. Smidge. That's a nice little define there now. Nice. I like hearing about what Instagram. I know they changed their like IGTV is just becoming Instagram video or something. They're changing it from like a separate thing to being more integrated with the feed, the way that Reels are, which I do like. I like the idea of it being more integrated. I still don't think I'd do long format videos on Instagram the way that I do on YouTube, because I think YouTube just has better longevity and people find it easier to find older videos. Instagram still only promotes the newest content, which I find really annoying, because just because I said something a year ago doesn't make it invalid compared to me saying it now. Especially with things like art advice, like so much of the added like instruction or projects or things like that, they're not necessarily something that expires after a certain amount of months. It's very valuable information anytime. Half the YouTube videos I watch are years old, but they're still incredibly valuable information. So I don't think your content should be purely chronologically promoted, especially if you're not going to show your viewers or your feed a chronological timeline anyway, because like Instagram already barely shows you what people put up in real time anyway, so why wouldn't they promote older posts at the same time? I don't know. I prefer the YouTube algorithm in a lot of ways because I find a lot more things that I'm interested in than I do on TikTok, and I don't know, my TikTok's found a weird place of like feminism and dog videos, which is not a bad thing, not at all. I do find it hard to find art content on TikTok that's not just flashy for the sake of flashy. Like, I prefer people talking about art and things like that. Instagram is bringing out search feature, so hopefully that would change. SEO is becoming more important and hashtags less important. Oh, that's interesting. I am a sucker for a really long caption, so if that's more helpful, that would be advantageous to me. Hashtags, I never know which ones are popular and which ones I'm meant to be using. I'll Google it like once every couple of months and go, oh yeah, this is what I'm meant to be using, and I just bleh. One of those things I feel like I have to do more than I want to do, as opposed to a longer caption describing my process or something like that. That's more of a want to do. I want to tell people about my process. I want to elaborate on what's in the visual. The same as you would with like an artist statement or something like that. I think being able to do that in a caption is quite advantageous. And I also do like image descriptions and things like that for people using screen readers. So that makes it a longer description naturally anyway. That's what TikTok annoys me about, because TikTok, you've got such a limited space to write things. You can't really do image descriptions in there or anything. I don't know if they have an alternate text space. I haven't looked at that. You also don't go to Instagram for long things. It's more flicking through. Yeah. YouTube I open when I have the time and mental energy for longer content. Agreed, agreed. So YouTube for me, it's like Netflix light. It's like, I want to sit down and watch something, but I don't necessarily want to sit down and watch like a program like Netflix. And it's a lot of, yeah, because YouTube is a bit more relatable because it's real people doing their own thing. A lot of the time it's less scripted than watching, like, I don't know, I'm a big reality TV nerd, so I really like real people doing real things that they do. And especially artisans, like people doing things that they art and they craft. That's why I used to I was very lucky. My parents got Foxtel at our house, which is like the pay TV of Australia. And there was, yeah, like the History Channel and the Discovery Channel and what's that other one? Is it A&E? All those ones where they have like the DIY shows and the makers and the creators, and those channels were my favorites. As well as Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network. And the Disney Channel. Netflix Lite, yeah! Netflix without the giant budgets. With the TikTok saying short captions are really frustrating. Yeah! You can pin comments now. That is a good slight workaround. Ooh, I didn't know that. That's really cool. So I could do like a little short caption, then I could pin a thing going a bit more elaborately, because I don't think comments are as limited. I think you can go a bit longer in those. That's awesome. Thank you, Kat. That's very helpful information. Amazing how fabric seems so simple, and then the more you look at it, the more all these tiny little bits come in it. And then it becomes a very complicated object for one sheet of red fabric waving around in here. Finding the map. Light. Finding the shadows. Yeah, that sort of goes into the flagpole and then out again. That's what I'm sort of aiming for. That in and out. I find fabric's a really fun one to paint as well if you're ever struggling with hair, especially long hair, because long hair falls very similarly to fabric. It falls in chunks. And of course you can refine it down to single strands, but when constructing the hair, you want to really look at it in sections and how those sections interact and move. Even curly hair will naturally fall into sections, other than, yeah, just sort of one big blob. I think that's the biggest problem I found when I first started painting hair, is I just wanted to sit there and make one big smooth blob that was all going the same way, and it's not really that, because it's coming from different places on the head, and it's going different places on the head, and catching the light in different ways, and often it's sort of the light on the hair that you can use to create different shapes and make it look more convincing. And that is very similar to you painting fabric. Plus with fabric you don't need to go down to individual strands though, which is handy. Still feel very spoiled back at Christmas, or was it my birthday? I think it was my birthday back in February. I got a very small commission from my favorite hair painter in the world, Bruce van der Villay, from Instagram. I literally sent her a chunk of my green hair when it was bright green. I got my hairdresser to cut a chunk out for me when I needed a trim, and she painted a beautiful little painting of a squiggle of my hair. Very cool. It blew my mind when she said she painted in acrylics. I thought it was oil, but she does everything in sort of like blacks and whites, or like raw umber and white, and then she goes over it with coloured glaze. That means it's kind of the opposite of how I'm painting. I'm painting colour into colour, and she'd do all the detail and go over it with one very thin wash of color. It must be very satisfying when you're looking at this like monotone painting to suddenly just wash it in color. That must be so satisfying. That's a really cool. I'm still hoping when I'm like an old lady I have this crazy cool giant art collection, but at the moment I just have a few choice little pieces here and there. A lot of the times if one of my favourite artists has something sort of under $200, if I can justify it as a Christmas or a birthday present, I'm like, this is what I want. I want just this one thing. And leave it at that. I do admit that some of the things I'm the most precious about when we move house. Because I don't want them to get damaged. I'm precious about my own artwork, but I'm very precious about the artwork I've gotten from other people. At least my artwork, I know how to fix it and I would dare to fix it if something happened to it. There on this piece, I'd be too terrified of ruining it. I've lost how strong my red was there for a minute. Went in and strengthened it again. Getting there. This is probably the lightest point on the flag, so it goes straight from its darkest to its lightest in a very short span. Which is darkness. A lot of wiggling back and forth, but I think get it. Getting that illusion of depth. Really getting. Yeah. Physically go in and out of. Like my stick isn't terribly straight. Just because it goes dark, then it's good. Great vibes. This. I'm not sure. It might be bent. I think the highlight being too close to the edge of throwing it. Those bits where you really play with the reference. Something looks weird on the painting, but it's correct to the reference to it. Because people aren't going to see the reference, they're going to see your work, and if it's bugging you now, it'll bug you later. So weird when songs do that. That just 1 second of dialogue that makes no sense with anything. So weird. Okay, we're getting there, we're getting there, we're getting there. I think I need to change this dark shape to be a little bit more open. I've actually got a lip coming top of the flag, which you can't see at the moment. Get that going. Real time? Real time. It's like mail time in Blue's Clues. Mail time. Real time. Like a jazz hand. Sorry, my jazz hand isn't on screen. Jazz hand! These are spirit fingers. Anyway. Bit high actually. Never mind. We do it. We can rebuild it. Yeah, so we'll have this main bit of light coming down here, and then there'll be more coming around. Okay. We will get back to the cityscape. Having fun with this. That's a dark shade. Much better. I'll mix a dark red like 4 different ways. Hard to tell which one is going to give me exactly what I want in context with everything else. And that is a pain. But you get there eventually. I'm definitely one of those artists who changes my palette constantly, and the disadvantage of that is that you don't learn permanent color mixes. Like a lot of artists who stick with the same palette every time, even simple palettes like the Zorn palette, they learn it so back to front that there's no guessing in mixing, or very little guessing in mixing. And because I change mine all the time to integrate different colors and different strengths and things like that, I lose that advantage, unfortunately. I'm aware of it, but I am too excited about changing my palette often, I think, to work that way. I'll often stick with sort of a very similar palette if I'm doing a collection of works or if I'm doing like a grouping, but that's more because I'm working on multiple paintings at once using the same physical palette setup rather than intention per se. Not like I shoot a whole bunch of references that use exactly the same colors or anything like that. I just integrate those colors together and very occasionally introduce an extra color if I need to. Okay. Looking a bit billowy. Looking a bit billowy for sure. We have the same worry with going too dark and making a burgundy flag, that if we do too many highlights it'll become a pink flag, so trying to keep that main red pretty central. Red's sort of hitting an area of the flag where it hasn't got anything overlapping, so it's got the most light coming through the flag. Up. Kind of map, because we've changed this reference quite a lot. Get it. Thank you, Yick. Working on the flag. Oh, sure. Is anyone else working on stuff tonight? Or this morning, I should say, because Celine's working on her portrait this morning. Where was it? Did you say Connecticut? It's very cool. Yeah. Is anyone else crafting along? I think Sally said she was knitting or crocheting something, which is very adorable. If anyone has seen Squid Games, is it that different from Battle Royale? Because it feels very Battle Royale-y. Like, cutesier game showy, rather than bloody. But I'm not sure. Yep, still painting? Yeah! Studio vibes, for sure. Glad to provide studio vibes anytime for other people crafting and making. With the amount of detail on the right hand side. I don't want to do too much detail here because that's the main where it's all shadow or it has light shining top edge. Oh, you got up your iPad to draw? That's awesome! Squid Game is really good? Okay. Battle Royale is sort of like... I think it's a Japanese film and it pretty much feels like what Hunger Games was based on. It's very similar storyline to Hunger Games, but it's probably 10 years older. And yeah, it's very gory. It is a gory one. But when did I watch that? I think I watched it when I was at uni. And I did not know what I was in for when they put that on. Like, my mates just went, oh yeah, we're gonna watch this movie, it's called Battle Royale. And I'm like, okay, cool. What happens? Oh, school. They'll have to, like, battle to the death. And I'm like, okay, sure. It was very gory. I think it stars the same guy who is in the Japanese Death Note movie. Like Yagami Light. Because he was cool, and I remember his face. I think he's in it. I'm pretty sure he is. Very dramatic, passionate dude. Sells it. Yeah, I haven't seen Battle Royale on any of the streaming services. I don't know where you would even find it. Sure, we had an old dodgy download pirate copy. Yeah, that's the fabric now. Oh, I should reel this. Oh, it's looking fabricy. A bit. Getting there. Over. I can get this with fresh eyes when we come back. Something about how it's coming to a point isn't quite working, and I've got to make that part up because that part's not in the reference photo, so I think it will be one of those. Let's look at it with fresh eyes. And continue the dark all the way to the tip, I reckon. Other than billowing out. Oh, maybe there it can turn. That's it. Leave it at that. But it's close. I'm quite happy with how this is going. I still think it needs like an outliner or a shadow or something around the edge of it just to cut it out from the paper, but we'll figure that out in a minute. Okay, stretch time! Who needs a stretch? I do. Oh, that feels good. Okay. Did I bring in water? No, I didn't. That's fine. I'm gonna quickly go get some water and I will be right back. So hold tight. If you need water, go get water. Hydration is very important. Sorry, I had dear husband is putting the puppy to bed. It is for bedtime. Alright. Yeah. Now. There we go. Okay, so now we want to add as many lights as we can. Tiny as we can. Without adding too much. Doesn't sound too hard, does it? Teeny weeny brush, and I can always use the other end of the brush as well, so I think we'll start with that. With some big lights. Lights. Well, that's cool. That's not bad. Please immune. Gets it. What are you doing? Doing some of different shapes, obviously the same uniform spot all the way through the painting. Lots of here things there. Amazing how subtle you need to be when you're sort of doing colour into colour. Thank you, Jess, for the reminder. I just did a little bit. Good reminding. Good reminding. You are like mods reminding. There are two. Have that really red light, don't they? Little red spots, they're kind of better stamina today. Maybe that's what I get for taking a day off yesterday. Or rather, like, not painting earlier today before I went to work. And finding the days I walk the dog, I'm getting a lot more. Which is most days. They had a half day at work. He came. Because the weather's getting warm as well, like but that's okay. I've also got some very lovely dog walking friends who are happy to. Yep. Sorry. Well, thank you. Yeah, I think that's what drew me to this reference picture, was the fact it did have this glowiness going on. So then it became more about the colour than about the forms of the city. which I think is what intimidated me about doing a cityscape, is just like all the straight lines of buildings, and I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to do that. And instead, this is more about integrating little shapes into colour that I've already placed down. So that means that sort of all my temperatures are already done. All I need to do is infer form. So, a bit more fun. Oh, you're getting chocolate for snacking. Yum! I only got water. I'm a healthy girl today. She says knowing full well that she's got a Milo tub of ice cream in the fridge. But, get some of that last. Because it comes in bigger tubs now. It used to only come in the stupid little designer tubs that were like overpriced for how much ice cream you got. It comes in. I think it's 1.2 litres, which still seems like a silly size, but it's better than the 500 gram tubs. However small. Happy with my giant Milo scoop shake. Suckers for blues and purples. Blues and purples just always look beautiful. They really do. You can't go wrong. I think they say like the #1 colour in paintings that sell across like a number of selling websites and things like that is always blue. Like blue paintings will always sell better than orange and red and things like that. And it's because it is such a calming, serene colour. Even if you use hot blues and things like that, it's one of those ones, because of the way that human eyes work and the rods that we have, it will always sort of elicit a pretty pleasing emotion. Both historically and scientifically, so yeah, you can't go wrong with blues. I'm more of a teal. I like to be that just off colour. So like even up here, like this is all like turquoisey. That does it for me a little bit more. So yeah, one of my favourite combinations is oranges and teals that I go to. That's why I found my last big painting, the one I was talking about before, Allegory of Uncertainty and Beauty. That was quite challenging because I was doing bright yellows with blues and turquoises, and I was like, the bright yellows as opposed to an orange are just so starkly different. Just, you really have to fight with it not to turn into a big green blob, because all the yellow of course wants to lean blue and then lean green. You're currently working monochromatic indigo! Oh, that sounds nice. Is it an underpainting, or the whole thing's gonna stick with that beautiful indigo tone to it? I love indigo. It's such a gutsy colour because it's got that depth to it, but it also has that nice calm, like you can mix it down to a very light blue. It's not a shouty colour, but it's got depth. I'm using Danthorine Blue at the moment. It's just a slightly higher chroma version of indigo. All these darks. Just gives you that beautiful oomph. I was toying with, there's a boat in the foreground. I don't know whether I want to put the boat in. You have a series of portraits in various blues. That's so cool! Celine, have you taken a photo of the whole wall together? Oh, I love it when you can get a big collection of works together. It's just so satisfying to see. Especially if you can display them. Oh my gosh. That's awesome. Congratulations, well done. This is the 3rd year anniversary of my last solo show. A while since I've done a solo show and do a big collection like that. I would love to do that again. Although probably not in my immediate future with Little Hurricane coming. Although it might be something I'll build towards. I'll have time to really slowly hash out. I don't know. It's lovely when you can do a big collection like that. Detect fly point in the sky. Post in the Discord. Thank you! No, Kat, I haven't applied for Open Studios. I'll be honest, it's... the whole COVID thing has me a bit and on top of that, like, we haven't got the biggest house in the world. Like, I literally work in one tiny bedroom and that's the whole studio. So the idea of people sort of coming in to see where I work, I'm like, there isn't much to show, unfortunately. I think if I had a studio at Burringer or one of the community centres or things like that, I would totally do it, because that feels like a space that's designed for visitors. But yeah, here in my home studio, not so much. I keep intending to apply to Burringer because they've got temporary studios that you can hire in the big communal space. And I keep intending to do that, and then we keep going into lockdown. So there's kind of no point applying for it. For paid use of space when we're in lockdown. That's still something I'd like to do though, because they're such lovely big open areas, and I'd be able to work on a bigger piece there than I can work on here at home. The same as, like, yeah, when we had a residency at the gallery, I could just suddenly jump into something big. I'd like to do that again. So it's starting to look like a city. It's one of those things, the more you add to it, the better it looks. Gotta just keep adding, just keep adding, just adding detail, detail, dun, 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 dun. Are you doing Open Studios, Kat? Open Studios is a local event where you're given like a map of people's studios in the area, and for 1 or 2 days, I think it's 2 days, you can drive around and go visit people's home studios with an open door, which is really cool. So you can see there's like normally a guy who makes knives and blacksmiths and that sort of stuff, and there's a whole lot of like sculptors and potters and artists and ceramicists. It's a really lovely day out. But yeah, during COVID and that, obviously they've continually been postponed and cancelled, all that jazz, but we're starting to come out the other side here in Melbourne, which is lovely. Lockdown officially ending tomorrow, and then slowly all of our businesses and everything opening again as we get 80% vaccinated. Faded into yeah. Dredging, keep dredging, moving across the city, river. Weird how much this doesn't even feel like drawing or painting anymore. It's just like mark making because I'm using the opposite end of the paintbrush. Really just dots and lines. Very different to how I normally work. You've applied to be able to temporarily rent a space in Burringer. Oh, that's awesome! Yeah. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Oh, definitely tell me when that's on. I'll come visit. I wanna come. That being said, I am trying to lay low while I'm pregnant because I'm still... It's just hard when you know there's so many people in ICU because they're pregnant, and if you actually get COVID while you're pregnant, it can be quite bad. So it's a scary thing at the moment. And I know my husband's really nervous as well. That's why I'm sort of finishing up my retail job just before retail opens to the public again. because I'm too nervous to serve a bunch of customers every day. I don't know if everyone's vaccinated. It is a scary thing. And at the moment we can afford to do that, so that's handy. That is handy. That'll be awesome to see you set up at Byringer. Are you going to bring down all your stickers and stuff that you sell? So you'll have stuff for sale as well as what you're working on? That would be a good time to bring down sort of everything. Another really thing. Getting there. Getting there. That's the plan. Hoping to get a range of products ready at different price points. Fantastic idea. Yeah. Am I allowed to ask how much does it cost to be in open studios? I'm a curious cat. Yeah, I'm a curious. Your cat. Oh, run some workshops. Yes, definitely run workshops. That's much more economically helpful. And super fun, because I did my little the things I did during the Women Painting Women show, that was quite fun. Demonstrations, that's what I mean. They were great. I really enjoyed those, and I thought they were really good public speaking practice for me in that as well. It was very similar to these live stream vibes, but I went red in the face a lot more often, which I tend to do. I get flustered when public speaking, but that's just because I get very excited and then very intimidated. I just naturally flush a lot. But that's why I like to practice, and that's also why it's so lovely hanging out with you guys at live stream, because it's awesome chatty practice without the pressure. I really want that cloud to be I come back to it, just like can't be as bright as the bridge, but it can definitely be for needed a nudge already. That's better. Oh, that's it. $100 for an emerging artist. That's not bad. That is discount. That sounds, yeah, cheaper than last time I asked them about it. We'll have to also pay rent to be in Barringer for at least a month before if it's used. That makes sense, but you'd want that much time to get set up properly anyway. Otherwise it would feel more like a market. So having that much time to sort of work in the space and play, I think you'll really enjoy it. Yeah, it's wonderful that so many people actually open their studios to the public, especially people who have like custom built established studios and that's like set up for that purpose, but us little emerging artists most of the time don't have that. That is definitely something that's less renter friendly. Or, yeah, when you don't own your own space, it's harder to do. A big purple glowy build. Yeah. Love. Sort of being lit up with lights. That's frigid. Big like. Yes, connecting with the other artists with Barringer are great. I'm pretty sure they'd have more artists now than they did last time when I was there. Is his name Luke, the guy who does the really traditional realist stuff? His work is... He's in one of the front-facing galleries, the really on-display ones. Is not connecting the dots. I can see his work in my head so clearly. But yeah, no, Barringer is such a lovely dynamic space. It's one of our local galleries here in sort of eastern Victoria. And yeah, I was in a show in there earlier this year, which was awesome. And then they are definitely one of the hubs of this open studio event where sort of everyone goes to Barringer when it's on. Collections are trickier than I thought they would be. I thought that pink and easy. Convincing. They're coming out convincing and sometimes they're coming out. Got a little dot on the left because I've got more texture on. close. I don't want to overdo it with the dots. Any sort of look. Close. I feel like I just need one less, but I do. Gonna strengthen. Does what? Right. Oh, that's what I can do. I can do some dark masks in the water of like greenery kind of thing. Fair enough. Oh, that's too bright. Right, we'll fix it. It's fine. Yeah. What? Yeah, more impasto and more chunky foreground. That makes it forward as opposed to wispy and flattened in the background. Yeah. Zoom you guys out. What do we think? Is that nighttime? Is that cityscape? Nighttime cityscape. I think I like it. Alright. Don't ruin it. Leave it alone. A little. Fix it. Alright, leaving it. Cool! I'm just gonna finish off this red flag real quick. That's definitely an interesting combo of prompts, considering they're both kind of objects rather than animals or people. Very weird combo. Last time we did a double, I literally did a person and or two people in costume and a lion, so this one's gone with so I got paint all over my but then. Oh well. Alright. I reckon we do from blue line edge. Strengthen. Real thing. Yep. Oh, thanks, Kat. I think it looks better in person a little bit, but yeah, the glowy effect definitely happened. Which I'm really happy about. That was sort of the goal of the painting, was to get that glow. And I actually think it'll look better when I don't have it sitting next to the red flag, just because they're so clashy, having all that blue and red right next to each other. I'll take proper photos of them tomorrow and post them on Instagram, so then they'll look a bit better. And be able to have their own voice separately. Might knock out a TikTok tonight. See how I feel at the end. Just ever so lightly joining that dark line in with the flag so it looks more natural, cartoony. Because we're straddling the line here, because it's an emoticon, I do want it to look like a little bit illustrative, but I still want it to be like a realist style emoticon. Kind of working for me. Oh, that dark is so much better. I wish I did that ages ago. One decision, and you just like instantly know. Yes. Cute, cute. Continue it down one side of the flagpole. This is the point where I'm not using as much pigment. I'm using more, just a little bit of medium on my brush, because I don't need to add that much pigment. I just need to manipulate it. Thing, like at this point of the painting, when you've got all your masses down, you've got all your main stuff down, you don't want to just be suddenly picking giant globs of paint. Unless you're doing a very specific highlight, like I want dots on the other side with the cityscape and that sort of thing. You want to be staring through the way. I can look at the right reference picture again. Save a copy. And put it. I need to come in with a bit dark. Yeah. it's like folded over. Added the littlest bit of blue, painting directly over it with that red, and then gate. Luscious, not getting across the surface layers rather than pick up a really dark and then thick block. And up, put it down, and going. Cool. That done. I don't think I'll go around the whole thing with an outline. I think I've gone against that idea now that the shadow sort of edge worked out so well. Highlights. Then our little in a very interesting couple of prompts. I really hope I get a portrait tomorrow. I'll make a portrait somehow. I'm gonna get something completely not portraity and I'm gonna change it into a portrait just out of sheer want to do a portrait. The other one I want to do is like a realistic eye study because I love painting eyes. I've already got my chance to do skulls twice, so I've got skulls out of my system. But now I want my eyeball time. Oh, let's zoom out. There we go. 2 paintings completely done. Oh, thanks, Jess. Yeah, I think so too. That's that little bit of dark. Completely made it pop. Which was great. That's what I needed. I needed it to come out of the paper a bit. So, hey! Still don't think my flagpole's straight, but I don't think I can do much about it. Because if I hold my paintbrush up... yeah, it's not straight. It's not straight at all. God damn it. Go to? The bottom half is straight and the top half is straight, but they are not straight along the same line. It's a problem when you go back from an artwork, then you really obviously. Dang it. There's a ruler. I'm just gonna rule it. The part where I don't have enough hands to do a reel of me doing the ruler at the same time as me holding the ruler and the paintbrush. There, now it's straight. I'll change that in a highlight. That's good. Stupid wonky flag. I was suspicious of it ages ago, but turns out so these are our final paintings. We've got our flag, Is this what you were thinking of, Jess, when you suggested flag? Where did flag come from as a prompt idea? Do you remember, or were you just spouting words? Completely fine if you were just spouting words. If I had to make up prompts, I'd have no idea where I'd start. Probably look around my room and just say, like, lamp. Honestly, you don't remember? Fair enough. That's fair enough. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I'll admit, tonight's been challenging, but it's been interesting in the same way that we've been able to really pull out some weird stuff that I would not, in no normal circumstances would I paint either of these. So that is fascinating in its own way. So thank you all so much for joining me. I've really enjoyed the chats. I can't wait to jump in the Discord and see what you've all been working on and chat to you guys a bit more about different stuff. If you've ever got any questions, feel free to pop them in the Discord. There's a Ask Liz a Question section. I'm quite happy to play around in that section all day long if you've got questions about streaming or anything like that. But as I said, sort of start with downloading OBS and having a look at some of the OBS guides on YouTube. That's the easiest place to start, and then from there, world's your oyster. Or sky's the limit, whatever saying works for you. But thank you so much for joining me, and I really enjoyed it. So have a lovely night, and I'll see you guys out around YouTube. Okay? Alright, bye. Love you. Bye. Oh no, where's my end screen? Bye.